Libra, welcome to your reading. I've laid your cards already, and do you see that shard of light? It's so beautiful. There's kind of this, I'm recording this on Easter Sunday, but it's a timeless reading, but that feels like a kind of epiphany of light. It's been very dark in the previous readings that I've done, so it's lovely that the sun's finally breaking through. So your reading, it is ending in the most magnificent ending of great balance, but it's quite a process to get there, and I think it's to do with how you want something to bring something forward. So Libra and shaft of light people, illumination people, you want something to bring through this. You're trying to bring this new, build this new happy, amazing world in which you star. And it's, the reading is about sort of how you know what you want. How do you go about doing it in a firm way? So, and it's lots of characters turning up. So if that sounds like it might be good for you, then stick around. So in the basis of the reading with you, we have the Three of Wands, Pentacles rather. So this is you working with others to build something. This is how you're feeling inside. You want to sort of partner with maybe aspects of yourself to create something really stable and wonderful. And yeah, it's a very lovely energy, this. It makes me think of some sort of healing tones. I always think of the Roslyn Chapel. I'll put a link to something about that, which is amazing. Today I'm seeing the bricks at the top, the sort of rather mundane bricks in the top corners, as opposed to everything else. So the day-to-day that you have to do in order to build this. Obviously the pentacles with their pentagram and that little button in between. So we have the merchant, the monk who's the money, who's paying for it, the artisan who's doing it, and the monk who's got the spiritual vision and who's commissioning it, or who it's for, who will use it. So your spiritual side, your practical side, and your sort of slightly more think out of the box, look at his beautiful coat, the merchant, spotty coat, you're slightly more dynamic inner CEO, working together, or you could be involved in working on a project to do something with other people, but I'm not sure. I think it's parts of yourself. I'm always curious, what the hell is this in his hand? A giant, what? Is it a hearing trumpet? That's a good book. The Hearing Trumpet, Leonora Carrington. I'll put a link. Very surreal, very funny. Knight of Wands is the way that this is making you act in the outside world. So you're rushing off with a kind of libidinous force. You've got so much energy with these parts working together, or this exciting project where you're working with others is so great for you. You just want to get going. You sort of can't quite decide which plant to pollinate next. You're probably quite following your passions, not thinking about the whole on some level, just sort of rushing off to this person, to that person. It's quite sexy energy. It's very sort of dynamic. Let's see what turns up with him when I put my glasses on. More shafts of light. I love this. The green rains with the leaves like the spring that's springing in the northern hemisphere. His little spurs that are touching the ground. They've got sort of some traction with the ground. It's as if they could, you could dig in on this land. How determined he is. And this kind of dragon-like fiery feather that goes all the way down his back. Does it come from his arm? It's interesting. Anyway, truly passionate energy. In the basis of the reading, this Three of Wands, you're waiting for a ship to come in, or you can see where you want to go and you want to plant a new wand. And that's why there's your Knight of Wands rushing around trying to sort of plant his wand everywhere. But there's one place it should be at the basis of the reading. This is what we're trying to find. Rather than rushing hither and here and there is one place that this wand should be. And you know what it is. There's an inspiration here. with that white band and the kind of gold coming from around his head. You really do know. And you want to take those sort of cooperative parts there to conquer that land. What can I see here? The green and the yellow. So there's a sort of bit of the Knight of Wands, very sandy land, but there's also the green here, which is interesting. So it's kind of bringing fertility to a kind of arid, fiery land, but bringing some softer green fertility to it. Maybe some arid part of yourself. Let's see, let's continue. In the recent past, the Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, this idea that you need to nurture, something that came from a divine source with the Ace of Pentacles that could be grown. It could be about health. It could be about it could be about health. It could be about pregnancy. It could be about just something physical that you want to grow. And it's a really lovely, lovely image. I love the bower and the invitation of the path and the white, peaceful flowers. Oh, look, when I do that. When did we get the background? That's interesting. So you can see what's going on behind me. It's funny playing with these. Yeah, it's kind of dramatic sky, isn't it? And the apple blossom, you can see a bit more clearly. Yeah, so some amazing idea was given to you. I can see all the little flowers over this hedge. It reminds us yesterday we drove past... we were out shopping and we drove past this incredible wisteria that had just grown all the way along a line of sort of hedge, I guess, or a wall. That was it, along a wall. And then it had gone up into this oak. And it was just, I mean, it was a really long amount of wisteria all just doing its thing. And it was making me think how I used to have wisteria that grew in through my bedroom window when I was a kid, and it was so beautiful. And then I was thinking of bush flower remedy, which wisteria is about female sexuality and being comfortable in that, and sort of very feminine and sort of in your body and loving that energy. So the fact that I've seen that, maybe there is a new start in something to do with those ideas for you. Femininity, being in your body, being kind of sexual. There might have been a new start with your understanding of that side of yourself. Maybe this is why the Knight of Wands is also turning up, because he's a very sort of horny chap, if you don't mind my being so frank, but he is. So there might be a lot of sort of sexy feelings going on, which is great. Maybe you're in a throuple. There's lots of threes too, let's see. Anyway, the Tower in a potential outcome, something not quite built on the right foundations within this situation. So what's interesting about this reading is we have the cross here of the recent past, the near future, the basis of the reading, your inner and outer worlds, and then the potential outcome. So on the energy that we have in this area, which also has the Five of Wands coming up in your near future, sort of fighting competitively. So here I see a snapshot of trying to work with different parts of yourself, having alighted on what you want to go towards. A new start, but lots of very sort of dynamic, sexy, fast-moving energy. Somehow that means an outcome which hasn't got firm foundations. Even though the threes are the tripod, they're usually rather stable. I think the fire element is destabilizing this somewhat in the way it's turning up. Obviously you have to have passion, but it feels as if it's not quite focused enough. You need to decide on just going in one direction with that Three of Wands, or waiting for one ship, not looking for every single one and getting distracted and rushing around after your desires. Because with this tower, the lightning, I can see all the flames. Yeah, that's exactly, is what it means, because it's making me think of this flame behind him here, and I'm seeing these flames licking out of this. It's him that set this tower off. It's him that is the lightning that rushes in and knocks the crown off. I think that kind of energy, which I love, and let's face it, is really fun, is not what you need here to build this. And there's some beautiful energy coming up, so don't worry. I can see stripes again. So it's like all of those kind of stripy elements, the stripe on the wall, the stripe on the... stripe on the wall. Oh, maybe I was looking at another... Oh, no, I was looking at the Ten of Pentacles in a previous reading. That's funny, but... So those stripes are sort of in their clothes. on the foundation. Somehow this foundation of this Three of Pentacles is destabilized by that fiery energy, the lightning fire energy of the Knight of Wands, and then coming up in your near future, the Five of Wands. These kind of, it's got a similar floor, hasn't it? The green and the yellow. So that, sorry, the sort of arid land of the Wands mixed with something more fertile coming in. It's lovely. It's fertilizing with your passion. But, and I like that this one, so I think you should employ your competitive in it to win it, fun, childlike energy, because it is going to take you to the same sort of land, the same sort of aspects of yourself that have alighted on what it is you need. Maybe this is an okay way of using your passion. We have even one character who has a sort of headband, which is the same as his. Okay, so his headband and his headband. Excuse my nails. I need to paint those. So it's as if you can fight for what it is you want now. It's young energy, it's fun. I like all the different colours. We have even got a spotty jacket as well. Like the merchant here, we've got the different colours, but there's spots in one tunic. There's a headpiece, meaning to me that we've got that character in the Three of Wands looking out, about to go for what he really needs. So it's lovely. Use that energy. It's always fun, I think, and people sort of look at that card and feel alarmed. It's the 1/5, the 1 Mars card that really works to in our favour and is fun. Now, here we get into something that takes us towards our beautiful end. So just with this disruption of the Knight of Wands, we find that we won't get a firm foundation, but here in our attitude with the Ten of Cups, we're feeling very loving and committed to this project. Let's see what the sky is doing again. Maybe if I move out of it, you'll see. It's nice. It's quite dramatic today. Ten of Wands, Ten of Cups, you're feeling very loving. This is your attitude. So when we start to add in your loving, full Ten of Cups, your balanced, beautiful, generous, taking all into consideration energy, this starts to change, because that's an opposite energy of the Knight of Wands, who wants to sort of have a bit of everybody. He's the love 'em and leave 'em kind of character. You've got a very sort of consistent loving energy here. And with it, it's in your environment now. I think they came like this. We have the Queen of Wands. She was in reverse. I don't really want to read reversals, but I'm just going to note this. The Fool upright, the Nine of Cups upright, so the one under the 10, the one before the 10, and the Five of Cups in reverse. So, I mean, if I do read them like this, it says your environment is one of kind of trying to set off on a new quest, with lots of wishes in your heart, informed by that loving heart that we see in your attitude. And you're giving up on disappointment. You're not focusing on what disappointed you anymore. But you're also not relying heavily on the Queen of Wands. She's slightly in her detriment at the moment. She's not quite working in her full way. We've sort of retired a little bit of that wand energy here. And we're giving up on the soft part of the heart that feels disappointed and focuses on the wrong thing. And instead we're looking at the wish fulfillment part of the heart that fuels the Fool that goes so well with him. These two. So this is your environment. Maybe you're not listening maybe these are characters at home. You're not listening to whatever is purely intuitive. I mean, I love the Queen of Wands, but purely intuitive, wandy. I want her in upright because I hate seeing her reversed. But I have to honour that she was in reverse. There's a sort of dampening of the passions and of getting into the heart space. Just so sunny, you know, the sun is jumping out to me, and the sunny kind of feeling of those cups that obviously with that kind of similar arch of the Ten of Cups, but this time what is it sitting on? We're not quite sure. But there is a wish that you're going after. There's an optimistic environment in your home, in your work, wherever you're, and it's being, and if you can mainly listen to the positive cups, and get kicked to the curb your disappointments, which we know you've had, and slightly sidestep your passions at the moment. No, because the Three of Wands is a passionate aim that we've got. But anyway, this is what your environment's looking like. Very in your heart. In a kind of more dodgy relationship to your passions. And maybe that's why it's the basis of the reading and why we're kind of struggling a bit with the Knight of Wands, and we've got the Five of Wands, but, you know, the Queen, maybe the Queen doesn't, that's it. Because she's in the reverse, she is a queen, and therefore, even though she's independent, sexy, intuitive, does her own thing, gets everybody up and running, and then doesn't mollycoddle them, maybe because in your environment she's in the reverse, she's not able to govern these energies so well. That's it. Okay. So your heart is working well, but your energy of your passion is a little confused, and it's disconnecting from your heart, because she, as a queen, is a cup. She represents the cup. The queens are all represented by the cups, which is the heart. She tends to people. If she's in her reverse, somehow it's difficult to connect your heart to your passions, and that's what we need to do. Okay. Because we know your heart is so beautiful. In your hopes and dreams, we have the King of Cups, the King of Wands, and then the High Priestess. So, exactly what I was just saying. It's so lovely. It's so funny how you have to just trust it. No, I want her upright. You can't have her upright. Okay. Now it makes sense. The King of Wands and the King of Cups in conversation, your heart and your passions, ruling things with great... the kings are all now in the swords, really understanding the balance between these two, ruling your world quite well, enabling a safe environment where both of these energies are honoured. The great selfish entrepreneur who knows exactly what he wants, the overwhelmed, emotional, amazingly warm and understanding King of Cups. When they're together, they're more balanced. They're great. I mean, they're great energies anyway, but and your hope is, so this is your hope, to have these two balanced, and that you intuitively might balance the dark and white, the black and the white of them, the dark and light, intuitively meld them together and intuitively get to the way that you do balance them. Yeah, so what's standing out to me here is that she has the cross on her heart. He has a funny little face on his necklace over his heart, like a kind of green man or an impish nature spirit, fire spirit, and he has the fish, the depths of the emotion, the depths from the unconscious. So, impish fire spirit, depths of emotions, so fire and water, coming together in that cross of the High Priestess to form something truly powerful, where your moon is at your feet suddenly. She's really, really, I love how she's looking so directly at us. She's really engaging. She looks quite tired but wise around the eyes. And she wants your attention. These are your hopes and fears, and what wonderful ones, because when we get your heart involved, here we go. You're in the center of your world. Wherever you're going now, you are center to it. You are in the wreath of your success. This is so beautiful. Everything is balanced around you. It feels exactly where you should be. So the magic ingredients is the heart. Now all these energies are balanced. She's got her wands in her hand, really, hasn't she? Now she's got these double-ended candle wands, flares, lantern, kind of beautiful, kind of lit flares. But they're wandy, there's two of them, but she's in control, this open, balanced energy of culmination. It's the culmination of all of the major arcana. It feels like the culmination of this 10. It feels as if you get to where you want. So from the one of, in the recent past, the idea, all the way to this end point in the major arcana where things are balanced, you are in control of your wands, but you're not. It's built on the right foundations. It's amazing what's popping out to me. The eyes of the lion, looking right at us like the High Priestess. And him with his dark, dark sort of interior eyes. Yeah, it's just beautiful how abundant the wreath is and how balanced everything is. These two in conversation with each other, the air and the... she's Aquarius and I can't remember, is it Scorpio I think these relate to. Anyway, all parts in conversation with each other. Let's start capping this. This is so beautiful. I'm going to go with the Mystical Moments Tarot first. And I feel like it's really clear. Bring your heart into the picture and suddenly your wand is able to be more helpful. The Queen of Swords. I like that. So she's turning up as well. She wants her part. She's saying, okay, it's all about the heart. It's all about the passion. But I'd like to say that there is a great intelligence here that needs to be far-seeing because she's a bit like him. So use your brain as well. Use your incredible, honest ability to tell the truth, to see the future. I don't have the book for this, but she's sitting on a world, isn't she? So it's like the world at the end. And it's saying once you get to that world, to me it's saying, once you get to the world, you can have a clear sight. You will have your full intelligence intact. You'll be able to see everything that you want to. And you're in charge of your airship with all those different possibilities, with all those birds nesting in the windows, in the little windows. And a finch in her hand, or I'm not sure, it looks like a finch. It's beautiful, it's beautiful. That's where you're headed. This incredible balance and the air element coming in. It's emphasizing the world to me, that. So then let's bring in the Tarot of the Enchanted Forest. They're just jumping so quickly. Now it wants to talk about the Tower. That's interesting. So we've got this in your potential outcome. It's bringing us to that energy. Let's see. So let's see what it wants to say about our tower. The folly, meaning at a glance, destruction, ending, the old way to make the ending of the old to make way for the new. A bad idea reaches its inevitable conclusion. And there are some rooks here. It's really interesting because these remind me of the birds that are around this Queen of Swords that we've just seen. But here they're productive, they're housed, they're going off, they're finding things, they can sit with her, they're wonderful. Here they're kind of swirling around this scene of destruction. And it's called a building. A collective noun for a group of rooks is a building of rooks. What are these rooks building from the ruins? Well, they're building our world, us in the centre of our world. Long ago, a wealthy man riding through the forest came upon the tallest and most magnificent tree he'd ever seen. Feeling entitled to whatever caught his fancy, a bit like that Knight of Wands, he claimed it for his own. Not content with nature's perfection, he commanded that the tree be hollowed out and carved into an elaborate folly. In his arrogance and ignorance, he refused to listen to the woodsman's warning that the towering treetop was too slender to bear the strain. Fearing for their employment, the woodsman obeyed the cruel orders, though it tore to their hearts to do so. At first, the rich man and his rich friends were amused by the folly's eccentric appearance in the solemn forest, but they soon lost interest and abandoned it. In time, the tree, dying from the inside out, cracked, and the folly fell into ruin. A dead zone radiates from its roots, and no creature comes near except for a great flock of rooks spirals up at dusk, harshly crying out their anger and their grief. The folly signifies the ending of indulgent and worthless vanities. This does not always feel good. Most radical changes disrupt one's equilibrium for a time. Step back and look at what you've made and how it serves you. What folly needs to be destroyed so that the true and beautiful can return? I think it's talking about these selfish attitudes of this kind of character, isn't it? He's getting in the way of you making a good building, which is in your internal. You want to build this cathedral. You want to build something really, really good, not a tower. And your outer attitude of rushing around, going after your whims, is slightly sort of ruining it all. Interesting. So, and because your Queen of Wands isn't in control of him, we need to bring your heart in and then use him. He needs to be used in service of the heart, not in service of his loins, his passions, his vagaries. And he needs to think about what stood, it's like an old, beautiful, tall tree. He needs to think of the wisdom of that and not override it. The knower of trees, that's lovely. This is coming from Rachel Pollock's. So, yeah, this is referring, I'm sure, to the folly in a way. Here, you know, understand the wisdom of the tree. I just said that, and we got the knower of trees. Let's see what it wants to say about that. This is how we bring wisdom. The knower of trees, gift of trees, speaker of trees, place of right. Knower of trees. Divinatory meanings: awareness of nature, confidence, ability to love and help others without losing our own sense of self, unconditional love, knowledge gained through love of others or love of nature. So it's this thing of bringing the heart in. So nature obviously makes us feel loving, ability to love and help others without losing our sense of self. So I used to be like that when I was younger. I'd feel like I was either all empathy or I would just follow my loins and then be gone with any of you. I don't care. And it was so liberating. I loved that because it wasn't all about everyone else. But there's a balance to be had, isn't there? To be able to love and help others without losing our sense of self. Unconditional love, which is that 10 of Cups. Knowledge gained through the love of others or the love of nature. I'm going to read a bit of this. The rose of the heart, veined leaves, the film of rainwater on a child's face. We know what we want. We know what we know, not what we want. We know what we know. Through the seasons of this suit, though the seasons of this suit is spring, when the plants first flower, trees change through the year, symbolizing the many shifts and seasons we experience through our lives. We see a woman standing like a tree herself with vines growing over her. Did I just talk to you about the wisteria? The wisteria growing all over. That was this, yes, that was reminding me of this. The vines growing all over her, okay. The vines and the red flowers before her suggest summer, while the leaves in her hair and floating in the river remind us of autumn. All about her and on her face we see stars. She herself has become the tree of knowledge, knowledge of the beauty and the wonder of the world. How lovely. The picture comes from a meditation done in a summer class on the tarot, in which a woman entered the world of the Empress. In the woman's vision, the Empress dressed in her beautiful dress and the crown of stars. They journeyed towards a river, together on a river, where the Empress told her that she had the power to awaken love and healing in herself and in others. This is beautiful. As a gift to take back with her, the Empress gave her a flower with stars throughout the leaves and petals. Putting this woman's vision, with her permission, into this card of the knower of trees allows all of us to partake of her experience of the power of love. Yes, that's what we're saying. Bring in that. Because it is trees, the card tells us that the power comes when we find our own connections to nature and the roots of our experience, not building these crazy follies out of beautiful trees, but instead standing in reverence to them. Above all, this is a card of opening your arms to life. It tells us a bit like the world card. That's how you get into the centre of your world. She's got her arms open. Sorry, it's difficult to show. Above all, this card is of opening your arms to life. It tells us to embrace the world around us in all its aspects, to hold nothing back. In the spirit of the knower of trees, we do not pick and choose what we want to accept in life or in a partner, but instead love the winter as well as the summer. How wise. Through such acceptance, we gain real knowledge of ourselves as well as others. This is beautiful, ourselves as well as others, and we can also make progress, right? Low battery, so it keeps telling me, so I'm going to quickly pull a lure, and we're nearly finished. So the heart, bring the heart in, and then you'll be in the centre of your world. Let's see, well, those two were the 9 of Cups, which we've got here, and the 4 of Wands. So wish fulfillment and your perfect partnership is coming through the 7 of Coins, through diligently working towards this. Okay, diligently, you're being told to use your wish fulfillment, your 9 of Cups, to head towards the perfect partnership, this perfect union, this 2 of Cups that we, this building. No, it's not a 2 of, it's it's bringing, sorry, not the Two of Cups, but there is a sense of a structure here, isn't there? The perfect structure being built with love. So I'm seeing the Two of Cups because I'm seeing the Ten of Cups. So it's saying, use your wishes wisely. And in your environment, we have the Nine of Cups. So that wish fulfillment in your Nine of Cups, what you should wish for really is working diligently towards a structure that is good for celebrations of love, for partnership that has the heart in it as well. I think that's really lovely. And then let's get a few oracles. Sorry, one oracle, please. That one. The Flower Spirit. Let's see what it says here. I've got a ringing in my ear. If we've got time, we might read some of that. Those La Lua. Flower Spirit number 10, which is our 10 of friendship, soul, tenderness, joy. This card shows the tender and sensitive flower fairy, the soul of the plant. She listens to with all her heart to her friends, and provides a soothing caress when their edges get prickly. By enjoying life and keeping the playfulness in her heart, she's the source of inspiration and joy. Her childlike vision helps her see the good in all things, especially in herself. So that's the childlike Five of Wands kind of energy. But it's also Nine of Cups, which we've got twice. That's sort of seeing the best in everything, the wish fulfillment. So I really love that that's turned up for you. Be gentle and open in your heart. And keep hearing that message. That's how you build the right thing, not a folly. Let's get these. We'll get some oracle cards. When I keep these on, I fall backwards off the bench because they're so bright. One of these. The Spider, creative projects. Yeah, this is you building a web with love filled into it. You know, we know you're building in the 3, in the initial card of your reading, but it's building a web that weaves in love. It's interesting, I keep looking at dream catchers at the moment and thinking I want one, and I've not wanted one since I was a teenager. And the wounded healer. Yeah. Don't be worried about the wounded parts of your heart. They are important. Like that card said, the Know of Trees, all parts must be loved. All parts for this perfect kind of building need to be acknowledged, okay? So you can have bits of your wounded bits because they can then be healing to other people. You can't edit this. And the Forest Temple Enlightenment, how beautiful and how much like that. Another building. There's such a shade of that, isn't there? We're building these, now we're in the forest, we're in the realm of this tree, rather than building out of the tree, out of this beautiful ancient building, taking out its heart, its innards, in order to make a folly, something I've just seen 2 magpies, for us to play in and then get bored. Here we're in the forest, and we're enlightened enough not to touch the trees, but to build this beautiful structure that is enlightenment. This is a true building. Look at the sun on the beautiful sun on the top. This is a place of great celebration, and she's got her cup of love. She's enlightened enough to know that great buildings have to have love in them, to celebrate love in them. That's so gorgeous. I might just read quickly from the La Lua book about the Four of Wands. Actually, the Nine of Cups first. I think we'll do it, even though the Nine of Cups. We're nearly at the end. 9 of Cups. Before a banquet table, so it's contentment, joy, emotional well-being, sensual satisfaction, abundant bliss, a wish fulfilled. Before a banquet table set with goblets and a decanter, a man offers up a glass of cheer. His unbuttoned shirt gives off an air of ease and contentment. Behind him a body of water with flora, signifying the nourishment and satisfaction this card can represent. This is traditionally known as the wish card. Whatever dream you have or wish to fulfill can be realised if you put your heart into it. 9 in numerology refers to the achievement of a goal. With cups, the realm of the emotions, it is the contentment one feels in their heart and relations. This card is about emotional well-being and the abundant bliss one wishes to share in feasts and celebrations. And then here are the feasts and celebrations. This is what you need to build. 4 of Wands. celebration, harmony, home, community, stability, time of joy and happiness, marriage, anniversary, milestone. A wedding party celebrates by raising glasses of cheer and merriment, more glasses of cheer and merriment. I mean, even she holds a glass of cheer and merriment in your enlightenment. They revel in communion under a gazebo where the light shines upon the newlyweds' union, bestowing harmony and conviviality. This is a card of celebration, joy, and coming together in community. The festivities around the Four of Wands are usually connected to milestones such as anniversary, engagement, graduation, birthday, or marriage. This card can also be about a home or feeling the comforts of home. It's about feeling grateful for your home or community. This is the most positive card, showing satisfaction, harmony, and good fortune. I mean, that's what you're wanting to build. Get your heart involved. It's so beautiful. And the Seven of Coins is really, I've just read him for another sign. He's really just about waiting patiently and looking with great wonder, but putting the consistent work in of listening to the heart. Right, we've done all of them. I think what we'll do is just cap this with some teeny tiny tarot. Anything else you want us to focus on? Oh, I saw, and then it flipped back. I saw the Seven of Swords, so be careful about not giving your power away, but it flipped back in, and everything else fell out, so it wasn't really. Anything else? Oh, that's so good. I'll show you. One moment, please. Let's see if I can do this without pulling you off. I'm going to just put the microphone down for a minute. So here we have these two. This is so beautiful. It's saying in order to manifest, you do need passion with the devil, this beautiful passion of the devil, which is a bit like that Knight of Wands. It's saying don't forget the Knight of Wands, the King of Wands, but add in this beautiful innocence, this beautiful optimistic, open, unguarded, manifesting energy. Let that take precedence over your passions, but bring your passions in as well. But do it with innocence and, you know, the love that the sun inspires, the openness of his arms, a bit like the openness of these arms here, the kind of welcoming in of all of these experiences of the heart. Then the devil becomes useful and passionate rather than bound up and not able to build and leaving us in chains. We need that kind of exuberant sun energy, which is what we're talking about here, the balance of the King of Wands, the King of Cups, putting you into the center of your world, feeling unbelievably centered and happy and balanced, and as if all your ships have come in with that Three of Wands, as if you've got that kind of end that sees you honoured and is good for your community as well, and all parts are heard in. What a lovely reading, Libra, and I think we said ray of light, people. See you again.